Norland. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Lead your noble family in this medieval colony sim, facing off against class conflict, religious struggle and political treachery. Tend to your people's needs, uncover the lost knowledge of the fallen empire, and engage in nefarious plots against your enemies. Yes guys, this is... I don't even know how to describe this. There's no real game that I can think of that it's like that, because it's like so many. It's like Manor Lords, it's like Rimworld. It's like so many different games that I've played. It takes the best bits and some of the worst bits of all of them, really. Basically, you set up a colony on this quite a large map. I've got to say, this map is quite a large map, and there's lots of other colonies on this map. And you can adjust the difficulty to have passive colonies on the map, or people who will want to seize your land, or you can have this evil horde appear in the top right, the northwest of the map after a certain amount of time, and they will just start coming across the map, destroying everybody's kingdom, and you have to use your influence strategy to unite the colonies to take them down. It's really, really good, this. Now, the way the city building works is it's like pretty much every other city builder. You need to put houses for your peasants. You need to chop down the trees, you need to sow the seeds on the fertile land. You grow hops, you make beer, you make moonshine. These are used to keep the people happy. They need to worship, so you build a temple. But here's the difference. This one, you have lords. You have a king and you have lords. And the lords actually tell the people what to do. So for example, the construction hall, you assign a lord over that, and they will tell people what to build after you've put down the blueprint. So you put down a sawmill, you might put down a dormitory and maybe a field, and then your lord will go to the construction hall. You'll see him actually speaking to the guys and saying, right, you do that, you do this, you do the other, and he manages that for you. And they all have stats, and you have to make sure, obviously, that you put the right person in charge of the right job. So someone who has high points in management should be in charge of managing different things, because once you've built the different buildings, they do need a manager. Your sawmill needs a manager, so that on a morning when everybody goes to work, your manager will come round and tell the people to go and chop down the trees, because they're thick ones. I mean, you would think that if you work in a sawmill, you'd know that you have to chop down trees, but apparently, no. They need telling that. The farmers need telling to put seeds in the land. Everybody needs to be told off a lord what to do. So you end up having a lord who might have to spend the whole morning going visiting different places, telling them what to do. And this poses a problem early game, because some people won't start work till they've been told. And I had a mine that was a long way off, and that by the time the lord got there, it was 2 in the fucking afternoon. But this is where paper comes in, and clerks, and you can have stewards who will write down orders and post them to the relevant buildings so it all gets done faster. That's part of the evolution in this game. Now, before you can build many of the buildings, you have to learn about them from a book. You need somebody with high intellect to sit in the library and read these books. And you buy these books off the travelling salesman that comes along every day or so. You can sell things to him as well. You can also trade with your neighbours, but you have to be friendly with them. And this is where all the relationships come in. Now, my lot got on very well, especially Halla the Slag, who she loved screwing everybody to. But then I hired a lord for 10 days, and they were very high on management, and they were supposed to be managing my colonies and then eventually going to move in. But she just hated everybody. I took her on wolf hunts, I took her on nice little strolls to talk. She just hated us. And no matter what, I even bought her rings and she still hated us. And so I could never get her to join, which was kind of frustrating, because I'd ploughed a lot of effort into that. And she's still at this point. She's got 1 day left and she still hasn't joined me. There's quite a bit of micromanaging of your relationships and your people. But it's not overly burdening. It's unacceptable parameters, I would say. But it can get a little bit frustrating when you plough a lot into something and it just doesn't pay off. But, you know, that's life. That's life in a colony sim like this is. There is a ton of stuff that you can do. You can assassinate people. You can just hire people to go and assassinate somebody. You can even go and help out your neighbours by taking out bandits. And the combat is quite hilarious. It's like Monty Python, really, the comedy. It's just so funny. The way the blood splatters as well is just great. They just beat the shit out of each other. Or randomly as well, you'll just get 2 people fighting. or just screwing. I mean, Hella the Slag just, I was I don't know if I have this footage. If I do, I'll show you it. She was getting so frustrated that I was either her or Ashira. I can't remember. I think it was Ashira, actually. She just went out and screwed a peasant because she hated our lords, so she couldn't get in a relationship with any of them. She was desperate for sex, so she went and screwed a peasant. She just dragged one of me woodcutters back. She literally dragged him back to her house, screwed his brains out, and then felt terrible because it says that I lowered myself to the lobby of laws and screwed a peasant. It's hilarious, guys. It's really, really fun the way that people have their own will, their own mind. They just do what they want to do. You can sort of mitigate a lot of it by providing the needs for them, but essentially they'll just do what, if they don't like it, they'll just f*** off as well. It's really a fun game, but there's a lot of the city building side of it, the management. You have to balance the books at the end of the day. There's a lot of stuff to buy, trade, sell, a lot of things to keep an eye on the map. You've got to look at your diplomacy. Maybe go send your king to another king's colony to go wolf hunting or walking to build up that relationship, then set up a trade agreement with them. There's so much to do in this. I just haven't had enough time in the game because I've been making drugs in Drug Simulator 2, which hopefully you'll get tomorrow. So this is Norland. It's in early access. It comes out on the 18th of July, and it's well worth a look if you're into the city building kind of management, kind of diplomacy, that kind of stuff. It's not just a basic city builder. It has a lot more depth than your average city builder. But there you go, Norland, definitely worth a buy.